Welcome everybody that just popped in. I see my friend Diana there and Suzette, our forever supporter of the startup and entrepreneurial community from Cox. We've got Verizon and Cox both on here, Tech Collective, so many. Linda, I'm going to call some of you out. Linda, I'm just going to call you out first after I just say, for those of you who've never been on this session before, every Thursday, as Amy said, from 11:30 to 12, we have this great Cultivating Innovation session, and we're going to be running virtual through the summer, even though we're back in person now, 4 to 6. So those of you who can and are comfortable, we're still wearing masks. We're a little more flexible about it. If you're drinking your beer or wine, you can take it off, but we're still suggesting masks. If you sit, you can take it off. But we're very excited to be back in person, and we're going to remain virtual. So this session, every Thursday, 11:30 to 12, tell your friends, join us anytime. If you have something to say, we really started this to bring in the virtual space as much as we can, what it feels like to see you all in person and share what's going on. And one of the silver linings with virtual is, you can join us from wherever you are. So I know some of you, I think Suzette's in Connecticut and and she couldn't make it every Thursday to our Venture Cafe. So it is nice to have you all be able to access us, whether it's virtual or in person or both. So I'm going to call you out first, Linda, because next week is World Trade Day. So Linda is at the, go ahead, you tell us who you are and what that's all about, my friend.
Well, thanks, Tuni, and thanks so much for inviting me today to come and talk to everybody. My name is Linda Woulfe. I'm the Assistant Director of the Chafee Center for International Business at Bryant University. I see a few familiar faces here. Adriana, we go way back. You've moved around a bit, haven't seen you in a while, so good to see you. Just a brief note about the Chafee Center at Bryant. So we have a partnership with the state of Rhode Island to act as the state's international trade office. What that means is that we are the official representative of the state for international trade. We assist companies in the state with all their international trade needs. If we can't help you, we provide referrals. We have a grant program that helps exporters, and I do see a couple of companies on here that we've worked with. So really, if you have any interest in international trade or you're engaged in international business, reach out to us. We're here to help. We do organized trade missions where we take companies overseas. Well, last year it's been virtual, but we explore new markets with you. We support you in participation at trade shows, international trade shows. We support you with internationalizing your website, designing international marketing media. So we have a lot of programs. Everything about this grant is designed to support export sales. So we do have to have a focus on creating exports, but that's what we do and that's what we excel at. So as Tuni mentioned, we have our annual event next week, World Trade Day. This will be our 36th annual event. Well, last year we had to let it go, but this year is our 36th year of doing it. It is virtual for the first time, so fingers crossed everything goes well. We would typically have 500 or 600 people at an in-person event. We're hoping to get a good crowd virtually, but we know how tired everybody is of Zoom calls and Zoom events. We've done everything possible to try and make this as interactive as we can. We have a great lineup of speakers. Our theme this year is the future of global trade, changes, challenges, and opportunities. We do have comments from U.S. Secretary of Commerce, Gina Raimondo, obviously former governor of Rhode Island. We have someone from the U.S. Trade Representative's Office in Washington, D.C., giving a keynote presentation, on trade under the Biden administration. We have a speaker who's been with us before, and she's excellent, Amy Selico, who's talking about trade relations with China. I know a lot of people have concerns about that in terms of specifically tariffs and what's been happening with the China relationship. We have another organization that's going to be talking about trade relationships with Europe and the EU and some opportunities there for both FDI coming into Rhode Island as well as exports. And then we have one on global supply chain disruption. So if any of you have, any disruptions in your supply chain you've been suffering from, we're going to be talking about that. And we're going to be talking about the future of global marketing. Where is that going in terms of in-person events, in terms of pivoting back from virtual to in-person? What does that look like? So we have experts from around the world that are going to be presenting at these sessions. We've also trying to do something different. We've created what we call small group discussions. So after each of the keynote presentations, we're offering 5 or 6 opportunities for small groups to get together. So each of our keynote presenters will be hosting a small group discussion. And it will be just like this. It'll be up to 25 people on a screen that you can have video and audio, and you can talk with the other participants. You can talk with the speaker. You can engage in a conversation so that you're not just spending the day being a passive listener to somebody talking at you. So
Well,
we're trying to make this
interesting, Linda, being the
Yeah.
first, virtual. It'll be interesting to see how it works out and how you incorporate that into next year's.
Exactly.
I hate to cut you off, but there's a lot of people here that I want to be able to share. So Amy dropped the link. So
Oh,
anyone
thank you,
interested,
Amy.
and Linda, if you want to drop your email address, maybe in case anyone has any questions, that would be
Will
awesome.
do.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you for on short notice popping in.
Thanks for giving us the opportunity.
Awesome. Carrie, you've been with us since we kicked off at 10:30, and there's something really important happening right here in Rhode Island. And, kicking off, what John talked about with funding and then featuring Lanre's amazing community project. Let's talk about the state of Rhode Island and what you're doing for small businesses.
Yeah, absolutely. So recently I was asked to join part of an initiative that's shoplocalrhodeisland.com. It's started by 2 amazing people that I know, the founders of Visual Thrive, an amazing marketing firm, and they have joined and partnered with Rhode Island Commerce to create what was a directory that they started. It's got 2,500 members on it right now of local Rhode Island businesses being able to connect. It started at the beginning of the pandemic. It was to really bring people together so that they knew they could support each other and that they were open and they were here and just have a way to be able to communicate. And as we saw so many people coming together and the beautiful community that it was creating, the owners in the state decided to work together to create a live e-commerce platform. So starting June 7th, it will officially kick off and you can use it to go and shop for anything that you could think of. And it will have discounted shipping by UPS. You can choose to pick up. You can choose to purchase things for curbside pickup. So we're really just trying to create these circular economies within Rhode Island. And it's such an incredible mission. It gets me so fired up because if I can avoid shopping at these big things and getting everything I need in one place, I'm there. I'm like, let's go. I'm ready to shop. I'm just so excited because to me, it really brings all of the different businesses that I don't know exist in Rhode Island to a place where I can go find them, right? And that's the part that is most exciting. Like, I know that there are businesses, I'm in Southern Rhode Island, and I know, like, I am such a Rhode Islander, and if it's not in my small radius, I just don't know it's there, and I want to know it's there. And I know that there are these, like, incredible shops up in Northern Rhode Island that I just don't see, and I don't know how to see them. And even though I go and search, there's just not a great way to find them. So that's what this is. It's really bringing all those together. So when I go to the site and I say, like, I want some, I want to shop for this particular spice or this, I want to be in this I'm in this kind of mood for this thing, I can just find it, right? It's at my fingertips. So I'm just so excited that they asked me to help and to start spreading this message. So that's what we're all about here.
I love it. And I love your excitement. It feels full circle because about 10 years ago, I don't know if any of you have heard of Ignite. It's like a TEDx talk with the Southern Rhode Island Chamber. I did an Ignite talk about like my Tuni's butterfly effect from chaos theory. Like if everyone just wasn't as crazy as me and like was so hyper local and hyper focused on like local, but if everyone just shifted at least 10% of their buying, right, to local, we could help strengthen communities and help strengthen the local economies and help our mental and healthcare system because we'd be more connected. And so I love seeing, like, it's another silver lining, that people are paying more attention to local. I know I live in Wickford and Wickford is thriving right now. And it just warms my heart as a community builder, from what Lanre's doing to that, to this technology that supports that. You know, it's like, what's good? It's easier and easier to buy your farmers market favorites. And to your point, you know, like, so all these platforms are fantastic, and Shop Local Rhode Island is fantastic. And I'm glad you made the time. I know you have to jump, but it's always good to see you, whether in person or virtual. Thank you.
Thank you. And I will see you later tonight.
Awesome. And I don't know who to call on first, Diana or Suzette, because it kind of goes hand in hand. And Diana, I'm hoping that you apply for Get Started RI.
Hi, Tuni. Yeah, it's on my my list of things to do this week, but it's been delayed because I don't know if any of you guys have heard of Include Design. I started a company after graduating into a pandemic last year, and we create products that empower individuals with disabilities. And our first product that I've been working on since last year, called the LapSnap, just launched. And it's a adaptive carry-all / shopping basket for wheelchair users. And it's been getting a lot of really great feedback from other wheelchair users in the community. So I put the link in the chat. I'll put it again.
Can you, drop the link to your crowdfunding. Drop it again.
We're at 95% of our funding goal in just 1 week. So it's been really well received. So I hope you guys check it out.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm such a huge supporter. And the We at Brown conference that I was a judge in the pitch event and you were one of the winners was literally the last in-person event I went to.
Me too. Yeah. That was our
Right.
first business event. So very exciting.
Yes, I'm so proud of you, and I continue to be a big cheerleader of yours. I love everything about it. And this whole day has been making me teary, Amy. You know, this Innovation is for Everyone programming that we do is just so important and near and dear to Amy and I and our whole organization. So thank you all for being a part of that. Speaking of communities, I've been a huge supporter of Get Started RI that Cox Business has been running for how long now?
Yeah, this will be our 9th year. Yeah.
And I think so, and the Hive is 9 years old. So I've been supporting it pretty much from the beginning and continue to support it. So what does this year look like? Last year, you were, you know, innovative and you pivoted to, you know, at that time, that was the first I'd heard of that platform. Which one was that?
We used Hoova last year,
That's
but probably going to use something different this year.
Is it going to be in person at all? Or are you 100% virtual friend?
We're planning for virtual. Cox is a pretty conservative company, so they're trying to, you know, plan just in case type of thing. But we are going to have some live elements, so that'll be a little different from last year. So parts of it will be pre-recorded and then parts will be live.
Fantastic. So we'll have to drop links in the chat. The applications are...
They're due right now. So anyone who's interested in pitching in the competition, and just in case you don't know, it's a pitch style Shark Tank kind of competition. We're taking applications through the 31st, but that may get extended a few weeks into June, just so that we can get a good batch of folks that are interested. And then we'll select 12 semifinalists to go on and go through interviews, internal interviews, and take a pitch course and things like that. And then eventually 6 finalists will be picked to compete. So
it's a fantastic program. You always do such a great job, whether it's in person or virtual. I have to say, many of us missed the in-person because it was one of the highlight events of the year, but that's okay. We'll be back, and it's better to be conservative and safe. And thank you for continuing to run it even through this unprecedented pandemic. And all you guys do to support the, you know, the entrepreneurial community here in Rhode Island. We appreciate you and your great partners, and thank you for making time to be on. Come on anytime, and we'll continue to share this information. And for any of you, Diana in particular, that want to apply, make sure you do. It's a great program. Awesome. And I see I see our Monica. Thank you, Suzette. Monica, what's going on at Tech Collective?
I think probably the biggest thing I'd like to share is just the availability of a scholarship for women, members of the BIPOC community. It was set with us with Citizens Bank, and kind of looking to grow diversity amongst IT workers in Rhode Island. So currently we have up advanced 2 advanced Excel classes. We have an IDLE 4 training and certification, certified ethical hacker, and customer service. So any of those trainings that you feel might benefit your business or your career trajectory, it's a very simple application process. You'll get a phone call from me just to kind of go over. But if you tell us, this is a class that I'd like to take, and this is why it'll help me move along, we're happy to really help you push your businesses. We're so pleased with what everyone's doing in the state. And this was Citizens and Tech Collective's way of giving back to the community and help people get the education that they need to forward their careers. So I'll put that link in the chat as well. Thanks so much.
Oh yeah, Amy, what program are we working on with Tech Collective?
So there's actually a few. Is Kino still on?
I'm not sure.
Kino is going to talk to us about blockchain at the end of June. We don't have an Eventbrite ready for that yet, but he'll fill us all in as part of a partnership with Tech Collective and Ocean. I believe it's June 30th, but Monica might have to nod. And then following that will be actually a 3-part series, and we're gonna try to see if everybody's interested in this. It's gonna be a daytime coffee about 9 a.m. With the idea of getting people together who are interested in blockchain, people who don't know anything about it, but kind of curious about what does all this mean, in addition to people who are already working in the field, so that we can really kind of engage the community around that. Then the next big and most exciting thing is that we're looking at a 4-part series in the fall in partnership with Crayusa and the team at Tech Collective. In addition to the state Rhode Island Commerce is going to be in support of this program as well. And so we're looking at kind of really leaning in and bringing about kind of some institutional change in the way we think about tech programming, both at Venture Cafe, but in building up this partnership with Tech Collective, and couldn't be happier.
Fantastic. And I know Colleen jumped off. She's very busy, but usually we call out our friends here in 0.225, 225 Dyer Street from CIC Providence. It has been hopping in this building, and we are giving tours of District Hall and then handing off to Colleen and Rebecca's and their team at CIC. We're adding this, they have very affordable co-working memberships. So we have our free public lounges, which people are utilizing all the time and more since we've had our windows decorated saying, come in, we have free workspace or private meeting rooms. It's been really busy. So if any of you want to join us, please tell anyone that needs it. This is a very inclusive building, even though it looks exclusive and fancy. Our space in the front of the building we have a free public lounge on the 1st floor and on the 2nd floor here. So tell people, students can come work here, entrepreneurs that are, building their business plans. Diane, I'd love to see you if you're still around. And then we have our private meeting rooms and event space that are really picking up. We have a lot of inquiries lately. So it's kind of exciting to see people coming back. Sean was here last week for the in-person. Jim Leach was here. And it's kind of exciting. So anything else we have going on that you want to talk about, Amy?
I want to talk about all of the things we have going on, but the first and kind of most pressing thing is please join us tonight at 4 o'clock. When I last checked, we had 4 spots left in our in-person registration for tonight's event. We're talking about fun on the waterfront. I restocked the bar yesterday, so we have some great local beer. It's not on tap yet, but we'll work towards that by the end of the summer, I'm sure. And we have, of course, wine and beer available for everybody to come attend. Please join us tonight at 4 o'clock. And then the other thing we want to talk about, that we usually talk about, is we usually bring Shaheen in and we grill him about what's happening up at Cambridge today. Shaheen has decided to go on vacation this week. I know. But if you are interested in continuing the conversation, but you're not quite ready for that in-person conversation, please join our friends up at Venture Cafe Cambridge. They always have a fantastic program happening, and you can check out the agenda right here and see what's going on and where they're what they'll be doing today. And then finally, next week, I failed to mention this when I was talking about our partnership with Tech Collective because it was on my mind about next week. But next week, we are hosting a really in-depth emailed security training. And I suggest that everybody who has staff, especially, if you have people working for you or working under you, to attend this session, and encourage your staff to attend this session as well, as it will really, especially as we start to think about, and this is where, you know, Venture Cafe has a really great opportunity, because we do programming every week, we could respond to things that are happening in the news. So, you know, we've all heard about the Colonial Pipeline. We know that, you know, things can shut down very quickly because of phishing attacks and phishing attempts. And so we're partnering with the Tech Collective and with Ocean to bring this training to everybody for free. It's from 12 to 1 next week. I am in the process of looking for the Eventbrite. I should have had it prepared, but I'll drop it in the chat so you can share it with your colleagues and friends, because it is an important topic, that make sure we support these small businesses.
Yeah, and if I could share, Amy, on it, it's hands-on. They're going to go over SPF, they'll go over DMARC with you and have you go through the process. So this isn't just somebody talking at you, this is somebody guiding you through the process of how to protect your email addresses. So
And explaining
encourage.
what those code words mean.
I have no idea, Tuni, but they make it safe and secure, and they will explain it to you really nicely. So I'm a non-techie, and I went to this training with them and was able to do what they, you know, told us to do. It's step by step. So I would just encourage all to come.